Welcome to the Beat Sessions, your place for all things music. I'm your host, Noah McNamee. Let's talk about Murder by Death, more specifically their recent release, Egg and Dart. Egg and Dart is Murder by Death's 10th studio album and potentially their final release as a band. The album is named after an architectural motif that symbolizes life and death, life being the egg and death being the dart or an arrow. The name absolutely fits, as the record's common themes are letting go and moving on to the next stage in life. There are many heartbreaking and hauntingly beautiful moments in some parts of this record. However, there's also just as many powerful and triumphant moments in other spots. So the life and death theme, it really fits this album. Overall positives, I have a lot of very good things to say about this record. Firstly, as always, the instrumentals throughout the entire thing are fantastic. Murder by Death is comprised of 6 amazing musicians. I did not get bored at all listening to the music on this album. Every song was beautiful in its own way and in the exact way it needed to be to fit the lyrics. There were great, just great instrumentation on this album, absolutely. I also thought that for the most part, the songs were all very strong lyrically as well. Good lyrics. They were sad when they needed to be. My biggest critique is just on a few of the songs, I couldn't really keep up with what was happening lyrically. They were either really deep or really metaphorical. It seems like in some of the songs, maybe some of the lyrics were there just to fill in space on the otherwise great instrumental. I could be wrong and just be bad at analyzing lyrics and picking up on metaphors and all that, but I personally found a few of the songs to be pretty strange and pretty random lyrically. But we'll go by them track by track. We open with a song called Searcher. This song sets the tone of the record with its soft sound and soft feel. It gives the listener a glimpse into the kind of music that Murder by Death is giving us in this record, which is slower, sadder, and more beautiful, in my opinion, than anything the group has released in the past. It also sets the tone lyrically. This specific song is about the speaker longing for somebody, searching for them, if you will. And just the violin in this song, it cries out. It really solidifies the emotions that the speaker is feeling and trying to portray to the listener. It's a great introduction to the album. Does a great job of setting the tone and getting your head in the right space for listening to the rest of it. Track number 2 is called Believe. Believe. It is a great follow-up to the opening track. I would say it definitely brings in more of the alternative country elements that you are used to hearing when listening to a Murder by Death album, while also combining the triumphant musical crescendos that they're, of course, also known for. The band does a great job complementing each other musically in this track, especially in the outro of the song. When they harmonize the last verse, then they come together and the whole band is doing this eerie vocalization together, and as the song just fades out, it's really beautiful and a very strong song on this record. I really like this song. Track number 3 is called Wandering. It's another song about longing for someone who's no longer there and then eventually bidding them farewell. At the start of the track, the speaker sings about how he carries his love close to his heart. But as the song builds and evolves, he realizes that the love is passed on and that he needs to move on with the lyrics, "I turn my back to everyone." Once again, the violin shines out above all of the other instruments. It's beautiful. It really drives in the emotional feel of this song. Really makes you sad, makes you feel like you're losing somebody as well. The drums are also worth mentioning on this track. Very unique, very interesting drumming in the outro of the song. It makes the song feel much more passionate, in my opinion. Just the way that the drums work with everything else, it's really pretty. Fourth song on this album is called Sorry, and it is definitely my favorite song on the record. It is slow, it's devastating, it's about loving someone, but knowing you can't be with them, and then eventually realizing and accepting the fact that you cannot be with them. It is performed passionately. The vocalist does an amazing job here, and it really does a lot for the feeling of the track because you can feel this singer's pain. Makes a already personal song a lot more personal. It also sounds like there are more strings besides the violin in this song, and just the multiple strings contribute so much to the emotional feel, especially when combined with the piano that is also in this song. It's a beautiful combination, lyrics, instrumentation. I love it. Song's absolutely great, but absolutely heartbreaking. It's truly beautiful art. My favorite song on the album for sure. Next song is called Ick, and after the emotional journey that Sorry takes you on, Ick takes us back to the country side of things. Musically, this song isn't incredibly different from the others on the record, maybe a little more intense, maybe even a little happy at certain points. But lyrically, this song is definitely different. There are no lyrics about a lost love, about a forgotten love, about moving on. It's just a song about a man needing to stay away from people so he doesn't make them as bad as he thinks he is, so he doesn't turn them as terrible as him. It's a odd song to go after a very emotional moment on the album, I would say. Letter to the Editor is the next song. Another one that was pretty confusing to me lyrically. Couldn't really decipher what the lyrics could have been talking about. But as always, instruments are just as strong as the rest of the record. The bridges in this song work so well, and even though it feels like the singer's just maybe kind of saying words to fill out some time, it still feels like a thought out and polished song just because of the strength of the instrumentals. The strings, in my opinion, carry this song. Maybe should have just been an instrumental song without lyrics. I don't know. Lose You is track number 7 on this album, and we are back to songs about longing for someone who is no longer there. The lyrics tell a story of someone who keeps looking back at photos of a former lover who has since left. The speaker is hoping throughout the entire song that their person will eventually come back, but it's pretty sad. Lyrically, with the singer stating, "I don't want to lose you, I don't want to lose you," just over and over again, it's really heartbreaking. But musically, this song is quite different from the others. It seems mostly keyboard driven at some points, which is completely unique on this album, to have a keys driven song. Thus, the music also doesn't sound as sad as any of the other tracks, despite the lyrics themselves being very sad. Very interesting song, and one of my favorites, for sure. Right after one of the happiest sounding songs on the record, we are hit with the song So Long, thrusting us into another violin led, melancholy, alternative country song. And this song is the point where the speaker's finally coming to terms with the fact that the person they love is not coming back, and they need to bid them farewell and move on. The speaker may have also been manipulated into staying around longer than they may have wanted by this particular person. This is suggested by the lyrics and the chorus. So long, farewell, no longer under your spell. Once again, on this song, violin takes charge, sets the tone of the track. Great song. The very next song on this record is called No Matter Now. This is my second favorite song on this album, only after Sorry. I really, really enjoy how the song slowly but surely builds upon itself until the eventual musical climax. Every time that the chorus is sung, the harmony grows, so one more person will sing. It's really pretty, further adding to the element of the song growing and building. The way that the strings work together and the musical break also adds so much to the song, makes it feel really intense. And then once that musical climax eventually does hit, I just couldn't help from moving along, dancing a little bit. The song lyrically is talking about a girl. It's describing this girl, but none of these descriptions seem to matter to the person because she is not with the speaker anymore, which is why the phrase "no matter now" is repeated so frequently throughout this song. It's a very pretty song, very good, absolutely. The second to last song on this record is called If. It begins with a seamless transition from the previous song. Lyrically, the song is incredibly sad. I would say the saddest on the record, which has to be pretty sad considering the entire record is sad songs. Speaker details how he had a friend that he loved at one point, but he knows for sure he doesn't now. He says, "We were brothers, we were friends, at least until the friendships end." The strings do their thing on this track to really bring in how emotional the song is. It's a haunting, beautiful song about someone you used to love. Probably something relatable in this song for everybody. The final song on this record is Black Velvet Cloak. Murder by Death gives us the longest song on the record, with the last song coming in at a little over 6 minutes. And the lyrics paint a picture of nature, with lyrics about creatures in burrows and birds singing and trees. But like always, the highlight of this track is easily the instrumental. The band makes it clear to you that this is the last song on what could potentially be their last album as a group, and they're going out on a very strong note. The song slowly builds upon itself, with layers being added little by little until the triumphant climax, where the vocals are almost screaming, the drums are loud and aggressive, whoever's on guitar is just shredding it. Murder by Death definitely closes out Egg and Dart on an incredibly strong note, with a minute and a half of the band at its absolute best musically. I could not have asked for a better outro from these guys. So if this is their last album, they ended it strong. But Black Velvet Cloak is the last one. That is the entire album. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would rate this album an 8. I thought it was very, very good. It is not one of my favorite albums I've ever heard. I would say it's not even my favorite album by this band. Nothing particularly blew me away in this album, and for me to put anything higher than 8, it's got to blow my mind. But when it comes to vinyl pass or vinyl please, I'm still definitely going to vinyl please on this record. It is absolutely amazing from start to finish. Not a single boring moment in the entire thing. So I'd definitely pick it up if I had the chance. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Please like and share and do all the other things you can do to make this channel and this video successful. Stay tuned for more content, music-related content throughout the week. And I'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.